They call it the Mother River of China, the Yellow River, Huanghe, a name whispered in ancestral prayers, carved in oracle bones, sung in ancient poems. It was here that Chinese civilization was born, not in stone or sword, but in water. This river did not just feed crops. It fed an identity. It shaped a people. For over 5,000 years, the Yellow River carved through highlands and valleys, coursing through Los plateaus and nourishing dynasties. Its floods were both feared and worshipped. To live near it was to live with both blessings and brutality, because the Yellow River has always been both cradle and curse. The same silt that made its banks fertile also made it prone to disaster. No river in human history has changed course as many times. Over 1,500 recorded shifts, thousands of floods, millions of lives uprooted, sometimes lost, and yet the people returned. They built levees, dug canals, wrote poems in the face of loss. Dynasties came and fell by its edge. The Zhou, the Qin, the Han, the Tang. Even Mao Zedong called it the pride of the Chinese nation. But today, that pride is choking. The Yellow River no longer floods with fury. It dwindles. It hesitates. And in some years, it doesn't reach the sea at all. Once stretching 464 kilometers, its flow has been crippled by overuse, pollution, and man-made redirection. More than 400 million people depend on this river, nearly 1/3 of China's population. But the demands of industry, agriculture, and expansion have turned the Mother River into a shadow of herself. The silt that once brought life now brings suffocation. The river carries more sediment than any other in the world. And that sediment now clogs dams, blocks flow, and buries history beneath layers of unbreathable mud. Where fishermen once cast nets, factories now dump waste. Where scholars once recited verses to the moonlit water, silence now settles. Broken only by the whir of construction. In some regions, the river has become so polluted that it is classified as unfit for human contact. Let that sink in. Not unfit to drink, unfit to touch. How does a river that birthed a nation become unworthy of a child's hand? Perhaps it began when we tried to tame it, believing that mastery was better than harmony. We built dozens of dams, diverted tributaries, turned wetlands into roads, and called it progress. But rivers are not machines. They are memory in motion. And the Yellow River remembers. It remembers the dragons of folklore that once swam through its bends, the rituals where emperors prayed to the heavens on its banks, the bones of soldiers and farmers alike, buried by flood or famine, but always returning to this river. And it remembers how it felt to be free. The irony is unbearable. The river was once feared for flooding too much. Now, we fear it might stop flowing at all. Climate change adds another weight to its burden. Snowmelt from the Tibetan Plateau, once consistent, now fluctuates wildly. Rain patterns have become erratic, and upstream regions hoard water for survival, leaving the downstream to dry. In 1997, the Yellow River dried up before reaching the Bohai Sea for over 200 days. It happened again in 1998, and again in 1999. A river that no longer meets the ocean is a river at war with itself. And still, the river endures. Somehow, because buried beneath the silt is not just sorrow, it's resilience. In recent years, China has invested billions to restore stretches of the Yellow River. Reforestation projects aim to reduce erosion. New laws penalize polluters, and awareness is growing. But will it be enough? Can money repair what reverence once maintained? Can legislation replace the quiet responsibility once passed from grandfather to grandson, from poet to pupil? Maybe. But only if we remember what the river really is. It is not a tool, not a boundary, not a resource to extract until it's dry. It is a living thing, a witness, a voice, a mother. And mothers don't vanish. They endure long after they've been broken, but they shouldn't have to. The Yellow River does not ask for worship. It asks for balance, to be seen again, not as an obstacle or opportunity, but as a partner. Because if the Mother River dries, what does that say about us? That we can no longer be nourished, that we've forgotten how to listen, that we are orphaned by our own doing. And yet, if we care, if we choose humility over dominance, restoration over extraction, she might forgive us. She might flow freely again, not just with water, but with memory, with music, with meaning. If this story moved you, subscribe to Myths and Mysticism of Rivers, because rivers are not just what shape civilization, they are what keep it alive.